Welcome to Let's Talk About Health, powered by Focus on Diabetes. Focus on Diabetes partners with accredited doctors to share education and new treatment options, world class healthcare organizations to introduce new technologies and free screenings for diabetic patients, their family, and the community. Now, let's talk about health.
Welcome. I am Lachelle, and thank you for joining us. It is my pleasure to talk about all things health and with you and our guest, Arthur Kelly Coffer. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kelly. Kelly Coffer is the co author of a bestseller book and the first time solo author of the book titled From the Heart of Kelly. Thoughts to encourage you. She has 18 years of experience in the medical field. Through her work and lived experiences, she found that her purpose is to encourage people through their darkest season through the love of God. She has inspired me to be physically healthy as she lifts them spiritually. Oh, well, hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining us and let us talk about health.
Hello, thank you so much for having me, Lachelle.
No problem. Thank you. Kelly, can you tell us about yourself?
Well, my name is Kelly. I also go by Coach Kelly as well. I started in 2020 my health and wellness business as an independent distributor with It Works, and that kind of kickstarted my journey that I've been on as well concerning health and wellness. At the end of the fall last year, I did some online stuff and got my certification for coaching for wholeness and wellness for health as well. So I coach as well as distribute products for health and wellness.
Okay, okay. It was mentioned in your introduction that you are encouraged to people who are going through the darkest season in their life. How did you begin to realize your ministry and begin to walk in your purpose?
Well, actually, for me, I learned very early on in life. As a kid, I've always had a strong grace on my life to draw people, to gather people, and I've always had a grace to love. So people would kind of, follow me around or go the places that I would go. And when I saw the level of influence that God gave me, I really, really, really took those things to heart and began to really, really seek God early on in life on how to encourage people. As we both know, life be lifing. It can be challenging
Hello.
at times. So it's important for us to have some type of encouragement. Of course, we encourage ourselves and we're called to encourage others as well. A lot of times you run into people who experience a lot of brokenness, a lot of shame, a lot of failure. They have a lot of experiences where they feel like there's nobody to talk to or nowhere to turn. And God would send me those people in that condition. And He would give me a scripture, or He would give me the words to pray, or He would give me the joke to tell to bring a smile on their face, whatever that individual needed. That was something that's been a major part of my life over 20 years. And it's because we need that type of support. We need that.
Absolutely. Yes. So let's switch topics just for a few minutes. Let's talk about your vegan journey. Why did you
Yeah.
decide to start the vegan lifestyle?
So back in the spring of 2020, when the pandemic took place, of course, it changed the world as we knew it. At that time, I was not self-employed. I was employed with a company in the health field. And so I was still hands-on. I was an essential worker. So with that came a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. And so what I would do is I would eat, because at that point for 26 years, I was an emotional eater. So if I was highly stressed or pressed or whatever it was, I would tear some food up. So, like the first week when everything got pretty serious and they were talking about trying to find the origin, the content, how you could get it, and all of that, within 7 days, I gained 14 pounds.
Ooh.
14 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I knew then, I was like, this is not good. My body didn't feel right. I was having pain in my knees. And I mean, I'm not too far from 40, but I'm a little too young to be having them type of aches and pains. So I was having issues. And so what I would do is I was a frequent eater of fast food. So whatever was close by, wherever I was working at that particular day, I would eat fast food multiple times a day. And I knew it was a problem when I went to KFC, y'all, Lord Jesus. And I got a 10-piece meal, extra crispy with all the sides. And when I went through the drive-through, the man said to me, and bless his heart, he said to me, he said, you and your family be safe. He thought that meal was for a family. It was just for me, you know. So I knew then, I was like, Kelli, you gotta, cut back. You gotta do better. So in the spring of that year as well, I got introduced to my business. And I started to notice, like when I began to detox and use some of the products and stuff, how much better I felt physically, mentally, how much more clear I was. And so I was like, most of the products were vegan and plant-based. Okay. So I was like, I said, let me just see if I can go 30 days without meat. So what I did is I created a small group and I did a 30-day challenge in August of 2020 to cut it out, because I had cut out beef and pork first. Then I cut out chicken. Then I did pescatarian, vegetarian. Then it went to vegan. Like I didn't do cold turkey. I just kind of winged myself along the way. And other than, dealing with anemia and dealing with those type of things and making sure you're getting the iron and stuff that you need. Other than that, I have not had any major health issues in 3 years. I had migraines for 26 years. Those stopped. Ooh. Stopped consuming particular meat and dairy products. So I've seen the change in my own life. I've seen the benefit of it for me. So that's how that journey began and how it's still going now.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that right now. I'm trying to get it started. So how would you give me some advice to getting started? I mean, that's the first step.
So absolutely. So what you really need to do is you need to look at some of the things that you like right now. And look at the plant-based version that's out there or available, because there are some great options out there that are really, really good. Right. They're really good. And so, like for instance, there is Gardein is a brand, Beyond, Impossible. All three of those are keys for me. Like when it comes to the dairy side, it is Violife, Chow. So it's different things that you can look up and see the vegan version or plant-based version of what you like. Because you don't have to give up good taste to be on this journey. Right. Now, I will tell you this, you definitely will have to cook or meal prep and prepare more, because there aren't a lot of options unless you're in an area where it's vegan or plant-based restaurants. Because for me, before this journey, I didn't do a lot of cooking. I just ate all the time at fast food places. But when I eliminated that, when I cut that out, because it was a lot of the things that I couldn't have anymore. Like for instance, you wouldn't typically know that McDonald's uses a beef or a pork-based oil product to make their fries. So I can't consume those because I don't have any meats. So it's basically write down the things that you love and you can find a substitute. Gotcha. And it's easier than you realize. A lot of times, even if you consume not only just the plant-based products, but if you kick in, some of those fruit and vegetables, start looking up recipes that mix some things up, get well acquainted with not only salads, but it's so many different options out there. So that's where you can start.
Oh man, I need to start today. I start and then I jump off the bandwagon. But yes, those are some really good options. So let's see. How does health and faith intersect?
So for me, I always, whenever I start a transition, whether it's a relocation, whether it's something that happens in my life where I need to make some type of shifting, I always have a scripture that I stand on. And 3rd John 1 and 2 has been the scripture that I've stood on this whole time on this journey. And I'll read it to you quickly.
Okay.
And it says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. So, what you have to realize on this journey, it's more than what you eat. It's how you think, it's the condition of your soul. Because I mentioned earlier about how emotional eating was the problem for me. I remember when I fell in love at 10 years old with food. I remember not being able to verbalize different things, but being able to eat to
Mm.
cope with life. So when I started to explore the condition of my soul, why do I do the things I do? Why do I eat to a place of discomfort? Why do I do this? When I started to look at how it all was correlated, not only concerning my faith, but my physical man. And what we have to understand as well, God is concerned about the whole man. He doesn't desire for us to walk in our purpose, just spiritually, preaching and teaching and doing all of these type of things. And we're suffering in our bodies or constantly speaking healing and deliverance over other people. And we're battling hypertension, diabetes. We're
Right.
battling all of these things, or we have control and we have an anointing, or we have authority in so many different areas, but we can't control how we eat or what we eat. He's concerned about the whole man. And with that, you got to do some digging. With that, it takes some healing and deliverance and breakthrough. Because I literally had to break and unlearn and relearn concerning my relationship with food. Food was my best friend and worst enemy. And so I had to relearn, I had to unlearn and get to a better place and acknowledge the fact that, hey, you're not hungry right now. You're
Right.
upset. You're
Right.
not hungry. You're sad, whatever it is, and deal with those emotions in that moment and then be able to process and move forward.
Absolutely. Get down to the source. That's what you got to do instead of
Absolutely.
trying to cover it up with food.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Let's see. You can you tell us a little bit about your book?
I sure can. I
Man, I'm
actually
ready.
have one of my copies with me. I was told by a friend who's on here tonight that I should keep a copy of my own book because I was, anytime somebody wanted it, I was, selling it or whatever it
Right.
was. But I do have my own copy here. And I'll put the link in the chat for it as well if you don't want to purchase it directly. Those are both options. But okay, there she is. All right.
Okay.
So how this even came about, and I do believe I saw my publisher on as well. Blessings and hello to everyone that's on. But Apostle Shalonda Y. Williams Leonard, she was my publisher for this book. And so she knew me to be an encourager, and that's, like I said, something I've always been. So I would put different statuses or different quotes and different things up to encourage people. And she was like, you need to put this in a book and publish it. So she walked me through the process. So basically, I share different experiences that I've had, scriptures that served as anchors. And I touch the, not so easy experiences in life. I touched when I was sick and almost lost my life. I touched when I faced racism on the job and had to still lead this individual to Christ, regardless of the hate that they spewed at me, and it really makes a difference to get the word down in you because what's in you is going to come out,
Right.
so in
Yes.
those moments, I bless God that his word manifested and not
Yes.
something else. So I share some tips. I talk about doing the soul work, talking about dealing with brokenness and scriptures that go along with that as well. But it's all experiences and sources to really encourage you, let you know that he's Jehovah Shammah, he's there, through
Right.
everything, even when we are battling depression, even when we are feeling alone, even when we feel rejected, even when failure is our portion. We have those opportunities to get back up, trust God, let the word be our anchor, and be encouraged.
Okay, okay. Man, you got me encouraged.
Praise God. To
Okay.
God be the glory.
So, first thing first, you said find your purpose.
Yeah,
Get that scripture and have something to fall back on. So
absolutely.
you have a purpose so you can look back like this is where it begins and stand by it, right?
Absolutely.
So from there, you want us to go through the house, find substitutes and everything that you do. Don't just
Yes.
go pull some Cheetos up and
Yeah,
go find a healthy alternative. Go find an
absolutely.
apple and orange or something like that, right? But
Yeah.
necessarily not that. Maybe go exercise or go do whatever,
hmm
something healthy besides
Yeah.
trying to satisfy something that you can't satisfy with food.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I want to say this as well. For
Yes.
example, I despised before this journey, I despised vegetables.
Uh,
I remember like the year before I started this journey, like I literally posted, I was on my job. I asked for the prayer warriors to pray for me because it took me 4 hours to eat like 3 carrots and 3 pieces of
uh,
celery. Like I was sitting because I did not like vegetables, even as
mm,
a kid. But it's so amazing what you can do with them.
right.
It's so many options that you have, and I love them now. I consume them every day, whether it's a plant-based product or whether I'm actually eating the raw fruit and vegetables. It's just a major part of my life now. And even for example, like I love Lay's chips,
Okay.
love them. But if you get
Hmm.
a bushel of kale, clean it off, rinse it, pat it dry, put a little bit of, and you can use avocado oil, you can use coconut oil, olive oil, whatever it is. Put that on a sheet pan with a little bit of sea salt, or even if you want to do pink Himalayan
Mm,
salt,
yeah.
bake it in the oven on 350 for 7 or 8 minutes. And it will satisfy that craving, but still be a healthier alternative. I
Oh,
would have never sweet potato fries. I
ugh.
would have never thought those things would be good,
Mm,
but they really, really are. So there's so many alternatives out there. It is, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge everybody in the chat. I
yeah.
appreciate each and every one of you. Both of my biological sisters are on here. Apostle Foy is on here. My bestie, Prophet Latoya is on here. I'm trying to see who else. And Apostle Long is on here as well. I appreciate you all. Love you all dearly. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes. So you're gonna put a link down below where to
Yes.
purchase this book at. Yes, so that'd be great.
Yes.
So anything else you want to tell us? I mean, man, this is your this is your I'm trying to learn from you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this because I don't know if it's, are you able to see the link that just was posted?
No, I can probably
Okay, because I think it's in the private chat section.
okay.
Um, but I'll share this. One of the things that really muzzles people is shame when they're on this journey, whether it's letting yourself go or whether you're not, being able to have the discipline that you desire to have. So a lot of people suffer in silence, or a lot of people don't see it as an issue because it's a temporary fix,
Hmm.
so I just want people to understand, like, you got to break that shame off of your life. And it's okay to need help. It's okay. It's okay to need support, whether it's a supplement, whether it's a coach, whatever it is, whether it's encouragement, because some people have all the tools, they had done all the research, but they need support. They
Right.
need somebody to hold them accountable. And with me, I'm a loving person, very caring, very patient. But there are times, even with some of my current clients that I have, they don't like the conversations we have because I hold you accountable, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
so if you're telling me something isn't working, is that thing not working or you not working? So
Right.
we have to explore those type of things. And so it's important for us to really, really get to the place where you have to acknowledge I need some assistance,
Right.
And then, like I said, for me too, the cooking aspect of everything has been such a blessing in my life from the very beginning. From the very beginning, it's been such a blessing. It's been a source of joy and of peace. Just the things that I've been able to, create by the grace of God. And even, because a lot of people worry when it comes to healthy food, they worry about pricing. And as we know,
Right.
the price of food right now, whether you're eating healthy or not, it's up there, So,
Yes.
um, there's so many options, there's so many things, and even the ability to preserve your vegetables, because
Right.
sometimes we get excited, I'm gonna do this thing, you get all the fruits, you get all the
Yep.
vegetables, then a week pass, you walk past that refrigerator with your fast food bag, and that poor little carrot up in there, and then that poor little celery just brown and just hanging,
Mm-hmm. Guilty.
but there is a way, like you can put things in mason jars, you can chop things up and freeze them, you can meal prep to where you can preserve and get the most out of what you have paid for your groceries. So, of course, it takes a little more work, but it's important to preserve what you have. And then I want to say this as well. uh the journey will never be perfect, but once you get it in your mind to give yourself grace, but keep a consistent pace and realize that this is a lifetime journey,
Right.
it takes some unneeded pressure off of you, because that pressure can be a trigger and it'll make you feel like, oh, well, if I failed today, I'll never be able to accomplish these
Right.
goals. And so you'll just give up.
Mhm.
There's some days where I would eat the healthiest foods in the world, and there's some days that I eat some pretzels and be swole up like a blowfish because my body can't handle that much
Right.
salt. So there will be days of victory and there will be days of defeat, but we spend most of our lives getting unhealthy, so it takes a little time. It's not an overnight thing.
Right.
It requires sacrifice, it requires consistency, and a lot of times people get discouraged if they don't lose 50 pounds in 1 week you
Yeah.
know but you want to do this. When it comes to your health and wellness, you want to do it the healthiest way possible
Right.
you
Right.
know so it's oh, who was that? Kale spinach smoothie. Yeah, absolutely, smoothies are awesome as well. They are. So it's important for us to understand that you don't have to be in this alone. This is why
Okay.
I do what I do when it comes to the coaching aspect, and even when it comes to the health and wellness products. I know how hard it is. I fought the battle from youth, and I mean, you still fight, and this is what you have to understand too. You still fight even after victory.
Right.
Don't get too comfortable. You still fight, and you have to deal with, because the cravings never cease.
Right.
And I have even my both of my sisters, Shari and Tammy, are on here. Like sometimes I'll call one of them, be like, "Hey, this is what I want to eat," and I'll list like 20 foods in one conversation, and that'll be enough for me. If I just speak
Mhm.
it, I'm done with it. Or I'll research a healthier version of what I want. I miss because I can't have regular chocolate, and I used to be addicted to chocolate.
Mm.
I did. So I miss like Snickers. I miss Reese's peanut butter cups. So I did my research and I recreated them with a healthier
Hmm.
version. And they good. I had to admit that myself. Like them jokers was good. So
Right.
it's just, you can still have what, you know, satisfies you. You just have to modify it, and things in moderation. That's what's the key.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know.
So
So yeah.
basically, you're gonna have to do is just reset that mind frame because,
Yeah.
and people think that I've been doing this for a month. I should have lost 100 pounds by now, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
It
It
does.
didn't take you 30 days to gain all the weight. Most of the time, it's
Yeah.
it took time to get that stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely moderation. You can
And you
still eat
have to
what you
work
like.
what you have
Yes,
to find what works best for your body. Because like
yes,
there's some people where they can lose 30 pounds in a month, and some people that isn't the case. But
right.
you have to find what works for you. And one thing that you cannot do comparison on
Mm,
this journey.
yes,
You can be encouraged, you can be inspired, you can
mm,
be motivated, but do you,
yeah.
and like a lot of people were kind of leery of me at first when it came to the
Mm,
coaching, because they
mhm.
thought I was gonna make them all be vegan, but I'm like, we gonna find what works best for your life,
Right,
whether you're a
right,
single mother of 4 children under 4, or whether you're 65 years old and you have some medical restrictions or some things we need to
right.
adhere by concerning medications or whatever it is. I'll work with you where you're at to get you where you need to be. And
Okay.
I'm there along the way. And like, for instance, I literally, people on Facebook, they call me video chatting like, hey, help me cook this meal. I have people call me on the phone. I know you gave me a video to do this workout, but I just can't do it. I'm like, okay, I'm available on this day at this time. I do the workout with them. I put my TV on mute and
Right,
we doing it together,
right,
So I make that time, because I know how hard it is.
right.
I try to make that time and support as much as I can.
So, so how much would you say like is like exercising? I know I looked at your page and you did some like kind of like a band. I think I forgot what it was called. To detox, I believe it was.
Yes. So I do have a soft, and it's gentle, and I say user friendly, and you know what that means. Praise God. It's not harsh at all. I do do a detox at least twice a month when I get the products through my business. And it's products and ingredients that you can read and pronounce,
Okay.
and so I do that at the beginning of the month or mid-month, or it's either the second and fourth week of the month. I do that detox. So if it's not that time, I also do like apple cider vinegar, which is a little challenging because that stuff is not the best tasting,
Right.
but it's a lot of times you'd be surprised when you detox your body, that water weight, you'd be
Mhm.
surprised what comes off even with that stuff
Right.
as well, because your body, it takes a while. And even for those who do still consume meat, you'd be surprised how long it takes the body to actually get rid of that. It
Mhm.
takes a little while,
Right.
so it's good to detox, clear your body of so many toxins and different
Right.
things, and not the good, not the good bacteria, but the
Right.
bad stuff that's in there. Really get your body open and clean.
So would you say start off with the detox, then start your healthy journey, or
It,
like
it definitely makes
how does that work? Like,
it definitely makes a difference to jumpstart by detoxing. It
okay,
really, really does. Because it gives your body like a hit the ground running type of situation. It gives you a clean slate, you
right.
know. So absolutely, I see it says yes, it clears your mind as well. And it does. It
Yes.
takes away that fogginess and that delay when you detox your body as well.
Ooh, so you gave me a lot.
Yeah.
So so yes, consistency, encouragement,
Hmm.
reset of the mind.
Yeah.
Starts there, do the detox, and you're on your
Hmm.
way. I mean, of course, you're gonna fall short sometime.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you need a support system.
You do. You do. It's essential.
So for the people who have like like on a lot of meds, what would you suggest for them? Going to the doctor or dietitian or even contacting you? Like, what would you say?
So what I do, I always, when I deal with people who are on medications, or they have, a primary care physician, or they have different specialists, or whatever it is, we go over what has already been instructed, for them, and we work within those boundaries.
Okay.
I don't, I don't tell people what to do concerning their medications. My goal is, if I can get you to a place where you're healthy enough to eliminate some of them, of
Okay.
course, after you are, going to your doctor and doing those type of things. But I'm mindful of all of those things. But if they definitely, want to come to me, I have a foundational thing that I do with everybody, whether you have restrictions or not. And it's really, the meal prepping is what is a game changer,
Right.
But I am very, very mindful of people's, medical histories and conditions, and we work around that as well.
Oh, good. Man. Okay, so let's see. Anything else you want to explain or go through? I mean, because you done said a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's overall, that's pretty much it for me. But of course, if you have any more questions, or anything that you have for me, of course, I'm willing to answer.
Let's see. So, can you tell let's see, starting with shame, suffer, silence. Look, I'm writing everything down. So for me, what does walking in your purpose mean to you? What
Is
does
someone asking me that?
yes, yes.
Okay. And for me, and of course with each individual, it's different. But I know for me, like when I started this journey, I knew that it was bigger than me. I knew the knowledge that I was receiving and the journey that I was on. Because overall, I'm a very private person. I love people, but I typically, keep to myself and a few, the faithful few that have been around me.
Right.
But I knew with this in particular that it needed to be shared, not only with the body of Christ, but with the world. Because there's so many options out there for us to be unhealthy, even when it comes to pricing, what it costs to, get a cheeseburger versus a salad. So I started to do, research. I started to do different things, and I have a recipe book that I have to get out really, really soon. But I formulated a black bean burger recipe, so, and it is delicious. It really is. I had a few people try it, and they were meat eaters and they loved it, so I'm definitely going to be getting that out, if not late summer, early fall, to really give people some tools. But walking in your purpose is something that you cannot shake. It's something that is bigger than you, it's beyond you, and it is your gift to the world when you walk in your purpose. And not only just for ministry's sake, the practical tools that are, being provided as well. Because stress management,
Right.
makes a world of a difference. Because everything I've shared with you today, you can do all of these things. You can exercise, you can add water, you can add more fruit and vegetables, you can get you a waist trainer. But if you're not managing your stress or actively trying, that cortisol, that it hits the gut. So you could still have the weight that you're carrying from stress, even when you're utilizing all these tools. So stress management makes a difference. When I first started this journey, I think I was in stage 2 of hypertension. I wasn't on any medications, but my blood pressure was like in the 150s over like like 116, and that wasn't definitely, healthy, in your late 20s, early 30s especially. And so when I started this journey, when I started to eliminate some things, like on average, my blood pressure now, it'd be like 110. over 78, and then I also had issues dealing with my thyroid and dealing with different, hormonal imbalances.
Right.
And so my heart rate on average would be like 105 to 120 resting.
Right.
I
Right.
could just be sitting perfectly still and it would be high, but now the highest it'll get is 85 max.
Ooh.
And it's because of the changes. It's because, and don't get me wrong, stress has not been eliminated,
Right.
but I'm learning to manage it more. And it makes a world of a difference. It really, really does. It does. I definitely, and don't get me wrong, some stuff will trigger you and catch you off guard and you be in the corner hurt somewhere.
Right.
But then in those moments, it's like, okay, what tools can I use to come out of this?
Right.
I don't need to walk nowhere near this kitchen. I
Right.
need to take a moment to deal with how I feel and then plow forward,
Let's see.
Let's see.
Do you have any scriptures you can meditate on for helping relieve stress?
Yes. Isaiah, and that's my sister. Isaiah 26 and 3 and 4. And I'll text that to you, sis, after this as well. And it really talks about the peace of God, So that's one of my go-to scriptures, Psalm 138 and 8, and how he will perfect the things that concern us. So when we take those burdens off of us, because a lot of times, y'all, when we carry the weight of things that we were meant to lay at his feet, that's when we have anxiety. That's when we have the depression. That's when we have the fear and the stress, So when we learn to actively engage through the word, and allow the word to work for us, then we can feel the difference when it comes to that as well.
Good. Is it more important to change our eating habits versus doing a lot of physical exercise?
So I will say this. You can walk like for 30 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week, and that can be sufficient. But the key is what you consume. So when you deal with your caloric intake, so no matter what dietary restrictions or freedoms you have, it's really about what you put in versus what you burn off or what you get out. So it's really more so about what you eat.
Right.
It really, really is. And don't get me wrong, physical activity is important, but you really, 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 really have to be mindful of what you consume. Read labels. Look at stuff, especially when stuff is high in sodium or additives, or you see a lot of words that you cannot pronounce. Be mindful of those type of things. And you'll definitely see a difference when it comes to, your health, your blood pressure, blood sugar, all of those type of things.
Meditation is a lost art in the body. Yes. Yes. So with someone who doesn't have a lot, what would you say to start off with?
Repeat that for me. I'm sorry.
So for someone who doesn't have a lot of money and doesn't know where to go, like where would you say to start off with to try
Aldi's. Go to Aldi's.
Okay.
You'd be surprised. Aldi's is a hidden gem. Okay. And they stepping their game up when it comes to not only vegan products, but listen, they got some good mushrooms.
Okay.
Carrots, it be fresh. Celery, go on to Aldi's. It's not expensive. A lot of these places you would listen. You used to been able to say, look, ain't no Hy-Vee here, but you're talking about a helpful smile in every aisle. It's high at Hy-Vee.
It is.
Walmart, you used to have a little more give, but their prices are going up too. But yeah, check out Aldi's. And also, if you are in a community that has a garden and they're open to sharing what they have in their gardens, check that stuff out. I remember when I first started to attend the church that I attend now, a man met me at the door with tomatoes, with peppers, with all kinds of stuff, with onions. And I came back and I made my own salsa. I made my own pizza sauces. You can utilize those type of things. So, even if you don't have a lot, start at Aldi's. Look at those places.
Okay. Yeah. Your thoughts on hydration and water?
So that's a little controversial. Because a lot of times you hear drink a lot of water, but you can't wash out, your enzymes, But I also go by you drink half of, your water weight. So you don't want to drink too much. You want to drink enough to be hydrated, but you don't want to drink too much where you wash the good stuff out of your body.
Right. So half your is it half your body weight
Yes, in ounces.
in ounces? Okay. Okay. So healthy eating, water intake, not too much to wash the good bacteria out, but enough to get everything what can, the toxins out as much as possible.
And then some
And
fruit
no
as
sugar.
well has, water in it. So you can get
Yes.
hydration through them as well.
Yeah, watermelon, definitely.
Yes, Lord. Don't let it be sweet, girl.
And the summer's here. Oh, almost here, I should say.
Yes.
Okay, so like you said, a 30-minute walk would be good 3 to 5 times, or 3 to 5 times a week.
Yeah. And if for whatever reason, whether it's weather related, whether it's physical, whatever it is, there's a lady, and I've sworn by her, and my family is well acquainted with her. Walk Away the Pounds. 1 mile is 15 minutes. You can find, she has different versions, beginner videos, and it's on YouTube, and it's a free resource.
Right.
So you can physically be in your home, walk in place, and still get the essentials that you need when it comes to walking.
Getting the heart up. So for people who don't like water, what do you suggest to spruce it up?
So you can use mint, you can use strawberries, you can use cucumber. There's so many different, you can use lemon, you can use those different type of things to spruce the water up as well. And then they got something out. I don't know how healthy this alternative is, but it's called Soda Stream, where it will take water and you can buy flavored packets, Crystal Light, different stuff. And of course, be mindful of that type of stuff as well. But those are different options as well.
Oh my goodness, you have said a lot. And I'm about to call you afterwards, man.
Come on, girl. Come on. I'm ready.
So do you have any other words you want to say?
I don't. I'm just extremely thankful for this opportunity. I've really enjoyed speaking with you all, sharing a little bit about myself and journey and what I do, what I provide for my services as well. It's a privilege to be here.
Okay. And you said you're going to place, where to contact you at, your emails, your Facebook, Snapchat.
I can. Absolutely. Yes. Now, I don't know, should I put it after we're done here to where it will show? Because it'll only show in the private chat on my end.
Okay. I'm sure we can do that. So do you have Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok? You can even say
I got them all, honey.
Okay,
I got them all.
Say it for the people who's there.
Yeah, so my Facebook page is just Kelli Coffer, and it's a public page. So even if you want to follow instead of add friend, whatever you want to do, that's an option for you. I gotta look up. I have Instagram. I think it's Kelli 03_. Snapchat. I need to look and see what that is. Hold on just a second. Let's see. The Snapchat is Ms. Kels 2003, and Ms. is with a Z and Kels is with a Z as well. So it's MZKELLZ 2003.
And TikTok or YouTube channels?
Yeah. Oh, TikTok. Let's see. I'm pulling it up, and I post a lot of my stuff with little inspirational songs and gospel songs and tracks in the background on there as well.
I know you got some vocals. I heard that.
Huh?
So you got some vocals. I heard.
Thank you. TikTok is at Kelly Girl 03. So it's KELLIGIRL 03.
Okay.
Thank you, sister.
And
Thank
where
you.
can they
My
find your
other
book
sister
at?
Toya. Huh?
Is your book, where's your book located so we can go get
So
a
you can
copy?
get it directly from me, but you can
Okay.
also get it on Amazon. So what I'll do after the live ends, I'll put the link in the comment section as well. That picture is blessed. That's a
Yes,
fabulous picture.
yes, give it life.
Listen, it's blessed.
Well,
Yes.
well, thank you so much, Kelly. And
Thank
thank
you.
the audience for joining us. And let's talk
Yes, thank
about
you all
health.
so much.
Yes. And that's
Oh.
oh, go ahead. Go.
Oh, Lord have mercy. One of my favorite praise songs. Let's see. Oh, it's so many of them. Because of who you are, I give you glory.
Hey.
Because of who you are, I give you praise. Because of who you are, I will lift my voice and say, Lord, I worship you because of who you are. There you go.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. You're going to church. Thank you so much, Kelly. Oh my goodness. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience, for joining us today.
Thank
Yes.
y'all so
Yes.
much.
So let us talk about health, and that is a wrap.
All
Bye.
right. Take care, y'all. Thank you, LaShawn.